Hello my friends, Kaitlyn here, and let's talk about Gilmore Girls and those last 4 words. Okay, so this is the gigantic, huge disclaimer that this video includes spoilers. Obviously, if you don't get that from the title, I'm telling it to you now. This has so many Gilmore Girls spoilers. So don't watch this video until you have watched the Gilmore Girls A Year in a Life, because I don't want to spoil it for you and I don't want you to complain and say, you spoiled it, Kaitlyn. And I'm like, I'm telling you that I'm going to right now. So hit that pause button and put me in the watch later playlist on YouTube and you can come back. I'll still be here and we can talk all about it then. Okay, so if you're still here, I'm assuming that you have watched it. Yeah. You get out of here. I know you haven't seen it. Get out now. But for everybody else, what did you think? So I don't think I've ever talked about it, but I am in fact a really big Gilmore Girls fan. It is something that I watched all through high school and I very much identified with Rory, and my mom identified me with Rory. She definitely saw me in Rory. And we watched it together and it was amazing, and we were kind of disappointed with the final season and how it ended. And so we were super excited with this revival. Both my mom and I are big Team Jess fans, and we are very anti-Logan. We may be more anti-Logan than we are even Team Jess, which is saying something because I'm very Team Jess. And we've always really wanted Luke and Lorelai to be together. So what about the Netflix revival overall? It was both really great and kind of weird at times. I kept noticing all these things that they would do, like camera-wise, cinematography-wise, and things that they would linger on for longer when they needed to, and I felt like, you know, this is not exactly true to the show. It felt like, hey, we've got some more money and some extra time because this is for Netflix, so we're gonna go with it. But it was also really, really nice to see all of these characters again that I love so much. And it seems like time sort of stopped in Stars Hollow. It's amazing how very little has changed overall, but that's also kind of what made the magic. I think the big plus for this particular arc is the way they dealt with Richard's death and how it informed and influenced the entire 4 episodes. And I think Emily's journey was my most favorite, from where she starts at the beginning, how she definitely goes into her kind of normal Emily, let's rip apart people kind of ways, and then really kind of changes and finds some peace by the end, and it was very moving for me. For Lorelai, there's this one part that's kind of making me wonder, like, why are they not married yet? Why have they just kind of existed in this little stagnant world? And I think it's good on the one hand that that's what this revival kind of addressed and then resolved by the end of it, with her final marriage to Luke, yay! But it was also a little bit disappointing about Lorelai's overall character, because you thought that she had kind of grown and matured in the original series, and now there's been like 10 years since that time, but she still seems to be in the same kind of patterns, and you see her finally, like she has to go to California and stand on a hill behind a coffee shop to realize it, but to sort of get some sort of clarity and like, hey, this is what I should do with my life. So it works for the story that is told in this arc, but is kind of disappointing for the Lorelai that we got to know before, and to see like, hey, you're now like almost 50 and you're still like living the same life, what? Plus there was that super weird musical that just went on way too long. I just, like the first like 2 minutes, I was like, this is funny. It's kind of an homage to the old show. And then they did like the whole musical and I was like, oh, this is not like the old show. This is very weird. Why is this happening? Okay, but now we get to Rory and the last 4 words. So it was very hard for me to watch Rory because I have always identified so much with her. She did all the things. She went to a great school and went to Yale and studied journalism and was going to follow her dreams. And so in this series, she's now 32 and I'm 26, and we've both kind of gone to a good school and done the thing, and we're both sort of following our dreams, but also in this weird place of like, I feel like a failure, even though I don't look like a failure from the outside. This is a problem that perfectionists have. I completely understand. But I was really surprised to see her with Logan, and not to even see her in a relationship with Logan, but to see her in a no strings attached, I'm with you when we're in London and you have your fiance when I'm not here. That was so disappointing because I was like, girl, didn't you already do this with Dean? Didn't you learn that being a homewrecker is not the way to go? This is not you. And I really don't get why she even likes Logan. I've never understood that. Like, I kind of get that he opens up a part of her that's sort of wild and free and non-perfectionist that she isn't able to tap into without him, but why? So because it was revealed very early on that they were doing this no strings attached relationship, I thought, okay, so this is gonna be about Rory realizing that she cannot be with Logan. And in many ways it was, because by the 4th episode, even though he takes her on this really weird Beatles-infused adventure and they end up in New Hampshire, she is like, you're marrying this girl, you're obviously not gonna be with me, we can't be together. And I was like, yeah, Rory, go Rory, I'm so sorry you're crying and upset about this, but yes. But then the last 4 words, I feel like it kind of negates everything that we've done over all of these seasons. I read a really good review that explained it in a way that made me feel slightly better about it. Although she, as the reviewer, was also disappointed, but she kind of made sense of this madness. It's this idea that Logan is Rory's Christopher, and that's why she went to Christopher and was asking if he would have wanted to be a part of her life and raising her. And, you know, was it wrong of Lorelai to just take her away and do it on her own? Because there's this realization that she is always going to love Logan like Lorelai always loved Christopher, but they were just not right together. And just like Christopher, Logan is not someone who is going to be there to raise a kid with her. He's always going to take the easy path, the path towards money, the path towards recognition and family approval. And Lorelai and Rory are these little spitfires, and they are going to fight tooth and nail for what they feel is right and what they want in life. And then you've got Jess giving Rory a longing look through a window that suggests that he is perhaps the Luke to her Lorelai, which of course is very exciting to me because I'm Team Jess, and even if they don't get together at the very end, that's okay, as long as there's a little hint that maybe they're gonna be together. Although, what has Jess been doing all this time? Why has he not moved on and found a wonderful woman? So now history is repeating itself with another Gilmore girl pregnant by a man who is not going to be a good father, and I feel like I'm being judgy about Rory's decisions in life and women who are pregnant out of wedlock, and I'm not intending to be at all, but it is somewhat disappointing in this story, in this fake world that has been created by Amy Sherman-Palladino, because Lorelai worked so hard to give Rory a better life than she had and more opportunities for Rory to be able to do whatever it is that she wanted to do, because she is such a talented and amazing individual. Unfortunately, by the end of this, Rory has figured out what that thing is, and that is writing their story. The Gilmore Girls, or just Gilmore Girls throughout the. I guess I just wanted more for Rory. Not that being a mom isn't an amazing thing, and you know, not that it's going to stop her from being more, but it's not really, it doesn't feel like it fits with the character that we've known all along. It does set itself up for a whole other story of how is Rory now going to deal with being in her mother's place in many ways. God, I just hate Logan. Why, Logan? Why? Okay, so I started this out pretty happy and positive, and now I've kind of talked myself into the dumps about this whole thing. I feel like they need to start Gilmore Girls support groups. Can we start support groups somehow? Do you know of one? No, it's okay. We will be okay. So what do you guys think? I assume you guys have watched it if you've watched this part of the video, otherwise you did not listen to my spoiler warning and it's your fault for finding out what happens. But yeah, what are your opinions? Are you kind of like me and sort of feel like about it? Are you straight up like hating it? Are you incredibly happy about everything that happened? And actually my biggest question is, for those of you who are big Logan shippers, how do you feel about all of this? I feel a bit like it affects you the most because it's very obvious that she's kind of broken it off with him, but is also now pregnant with this child. So, you know, there's always gonna be that connection. So what do you think? You should tell me down in those comments and we'll talk about it and cry together. Plus, remember to like, favorite, share, and subscribe if this video made you smile. And if you share it, tell people that it has spoilers. I don't want any angry people about this. I'm totally serious here. See you guys on Thursday.